welcome to my channel. So today I've got a rather large colouring book haul for you. This is actually part 2 of an overall haul I did. The first part of the haul is for my art supplies that I bought, so I will put a little one of those clicky link things up in the top corner if you want to see part 1. I'll also link it in the description. Basically though, this is the colouring book haul part of it. I got it from a combination from a shop in the UK called The Works, who sell books and craft materials, etc. And the rest I basically got from Amazon, including some more Disney books. I couldn't resist, so be sure to stick around to the end to see those. But let's get started. So I'll start with this one, which is the beginning of my Works haul. This is the Enchanting Fairies colouring book. It's about 8-4 and, you know, glossy cover. This is actually by Arcturus publishing, which I've got a few other books by them. You might recognise the style in that they do an image on the right hand side and then they have the original illustration on the left, so that's a bit like the Kew Garden books that they do. Now, as you can see though from this example, this is a really nice detailed image, and this is fairly basic line art, so if I tackle this, obviously I'm going to be having to put in a lot of my own texturing and things, but I do have the image here to compare against, so we'll give it a go. It was only £3 and I thought, well, why not? I love this picture, look at this. So cute. Swim for your life. But yeah, I will do, by the way, a flip through of this and all the other books that I feature in this haul. I will do separate flip throughs for those because it takes too long, so watch out for those in the coming days. But yeah, for now that is the Enchanting Fairies colouring book, I think. Yeah, so the original illustrations of Margaret Tarrant, book 1. So the next thing I got from The Works, Millie Marotta's Tropical Wonderland. Now this is the pocket edition, so you can see how small it is compared to my hand. Believe it or not, this is my first Millie Marotta book because I just had this flip-flop about whether I wanted it or not. I mean, obviously she has a very distinct style. If you're not familiar with it, she does animals or whatever, but they're kind of, I suppose, Zentangly, would you describe it? But, you know, lots of little bits. It's up to you how you colour it. You can just colour it and ignore the pattern and the pattern will show through, or you can colour these bits individually to make you know, to make it that way. And that's why I flip-flopped. I couldn't make up my mind whether I actually liked the style or not. Personally I didn't think I would. I'm still not sure I will, but sometimes I see people post pictures of her work and they look incredible. So it could just be my lack of imagination of when I look at the page and I see it uncoloured. But when it's done, you know, I might feel totally different. But it was £3 again, and I'm really into these pocket-sized books at the moment because I've found out that I can colour them in a, you know, reasonable amount of time, and it doesn't take me a month to do because I'm a bit of a slowpoke. So I thought I'd give it a go. Millie Marotta's Tropical Wonderland. Okay, so next I'm going to do 2 books. These are both Kew Gardens books. Now, if you've seen my colouring book collection, I'll put a link for the playlist for that. I've got all my colouring book collection recorded. But basically one of the books was like an A4 size Kew Gardens colouring book. And this is very much the same sort of thing, except as you can see, these are again those pocket-sized books. Now, I've only got one of the other Kew Garden books. There were, I think, at least 2 more, possibly 3. So there was a lot of illustrations. There was 44 in my book. There's over 50. I think it's because they give you this little index of the yeah. So we have 54. So 108 images in both of these books, and I think basically they are the A4 books combined into 2 books and a smaller size, about A5. And if you don't know the format, it's a bit like the Fairies one, and it is by Arcturus publishing again. But they have the original sort of illustration that was done by the botanists back in the 1800s and stuff, and then they give you grayscale image basically, which you can colour yourself. Now some of these images are identical to the book I've already got. If I had all those books I wouldn't have bought these, but as I only had one, I didn't mind getting some duplicates. But yeah, that's one. I'll do a very quick flick just so you get an idea of the images that are inside. But as I say, I'm really into these smaller books, so this was perfect. And they was only £2 each, which is like, I don't know, $2.60, something like that. So very good value, and 100 illustrations between the two books. So yeah. So the next book that I picked up was this Mindful Mandala colouring book. It was £3, so you know, $4 something. I actually saw this mentioned on another channel. No, I think her name is Sophie's Colouring Journey. I will link her channel where I originally saw it. But basically, she did a flip through of this book, and I saw it. I mean, they are basic mandalas. There's nothing, you know, they're not hand drawn. They look to be these sort of maybe stock images or something. But they had a few unusual ones in there, and I'm really into mandalas at the moment. They've got a variety as well of complicated, like some of them are really busy, and I love mandalas like this. So I thought I would pick that up before I bargain. I think there's, yeah, so there's more than 60. So that should keep me quiet for a while. But Mindful Mandalas colouring book. And I've got another mandala colouring book. This one's a bit different. So to be honest, it was the novelty of it that attracted me to this book, because I wanted to give it a go. It's because it's a mandala book, but it's not your standard mandala book. I mean, these are animal ones, which perhaps are not quite my thing, but as it will explain inside, it's Dr. Doodle. Sounds like I said doctor, didn't it? Doodle. There we go. But it's teaching you basically how to create mandalas. Now, this is what they do. So you have your original mandala on the left, and they have the points of the mandala. They're in grey, so when you colour over this, you might see little bits of the grey, but it's quite fine. So most of this will be covered up if you colour in the animals. But you are given the same template that they've used here with the circles and the dots. You've got the exact same template on the right, where you can try to draw the mandala yourself. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So as you can see, as you go through the book, there are the different styles of templates for you, and then, you know, the idea is, as I say, is to copy the little turtles and make your own little turtles. And also at the back, you've got a little bit extra where they've just given you some plain mandala templates, quite a few actually. So I mean, I know you can do all that just with a compass and a pencil, but I thought, I don't know, the concept of it intrigued me, because I've never seen a book like this before. So I thought I would give it a go. So that's Dr. Doodle's Animal Mandalas. Susie Taylor is the artist for that. So that's all I got from the works, but I did get this book from a neighbouring shop. It was called, now what's it called? Paper Tiger. Do you know what? I'll have to look it up because I'm really bad at names. It's either Flying Tiger or Paper Tiger. But basically I spotted this. I had a few colouring books there. Now this was half price. It was £1.50, so about $2. It's quite thin though. I counted it up. It's got 16 images in it. But basically, if you've seen a Quirkle book, you'll know exactly what is going to come inside of this book when you see the cover, which is just as well. I mean, I don't actually have a Quirkle book, but I know how they work. I've seen enough videos with people doing Quirkle ones, which is just as well, because this is the only explanation they give you on how you do it. And basically you just have 5 colours. You pick a colour, it's a colour by number, but you pick your own colours. Basically, number 1 you make sure is the lightest shade, and then number 5 you make sure is the darkest shade. And then they give you some tips here if you can do crosshatch or lines. But yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount to see in there. I have done one very quickly because I just wanted to see what it was like. The paper is amazing for such a simple book. Like, it's nearly card. I don't know, a bit of a waste really. And it sucked up my marker ink like it was, like I don't know what. But anyway, so I did this picture because I couldn't actually identify what it was. Most of the ones, I mean, that's the cat from the cover, and that's a horse, so and that's a goat. So most of the ones you could tell what they are, but I didn't know what he was, and he's a raccoon. So yeah, £1.50, and I thought I'll give it a go because I don't have a Quirkle book, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to try out that style. Right then, on to my Amazon haul. I will start with this one. So anybody who likes mandalas, or she does other books as well, but she's mostly known for mandalas, Kamelia Angelkova. Now this is the Mandala colouring book 54, unique and highly detailed mandalas. Okay, so highly detailed is the bit we're focusing on here. So these are what you would call the intricate mandalas, and you know, these mandalas will take me a while to do. I mean, look at the details on that. I mean, there's so much fine detail. I can only see myself picking these up for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at a time, because I'm just going to go cross-eyed. But I knew this before I bought it. I like mandalas like this. I like the easy ones, but every now and then I just like to get my teeth into something really intricate, which is what I've got with this. So beware what you wish for. But yeah, so that's Mandala 54. Well, I say it's Mandala 54. There are 54 mandalas in this book. It doesn't really have a specific name, but it's by Kamelia Angelkova. Okay, so the next book I've got is this one. It's called The Old Curiosity Shop. You might be familiar with this because it is quite an old book. There's a sister book to it as well called the I think it's The Old Sweet Shop. And basically, the cover on this is lovely. It's like a matte effect with the gold foil. Really like it. It's a really nice quality book. Anyway, I saw this marked down for like, I think it was to £3.50 or something, which is about $5. So obviously I grabbed it. Basically, if you're not familiar with the style, it's quite sort of semi-grayscale. The paper is like yellowed ivory, so it just gives the impression of being like aged. And just, you know, the pictures here are of things you might find in a curiosity shop, or, you know, old antiques. We've got brushes in the old golden syrup tin, so things like that. It's really nice. It's something that I can see will take me a while to do, and I wasn't quite ready. I wouldn't have bought this if it hadn't been on sale, because obviously these pictures are quite detailed, and I've been buying so many books recently. I don't know when I'm going to get the time, but I need to make time because that's a beautiful book, and I'm very glad to add it to my collection. Right then, so we'll get into the Disney books. I bought this one. So again, I saw it was knocked down in price. Normally they go for about £10, and I paid, I think, $6.99 for it, or $5.99, I can't remember. About a third off anyway. So I grabbed it. Now this is a really nice book, and it's not a Hachette Heroes one. That's the nice thing as well. It's nice to have I mean, I love the Hachette Hero books, but you know, it's just nice to have a different take on it. So these images are, well, as it says from the cover, they're the classics. So we have a lot of Donald and Mickey. We've got the older films like Bambi and Dumbo. As I say, I'm not going to do full flips of this because it would just take too long, but I will get flip throughs done of all of these books, and up on the channel as soon as I can. If you have any priority, if there's one that you want to see a flip through of though, leave me a comment, and obviously then I'll prioritise it. There's a couple of wallpaper pages in here, but for the most part, really nice images. The only problem with it is that they are double-sided, which means no alcohol markers. Right, next we got, in my previous haul, which it was very naughty of me because that was only at the beginning of July, so it's not even been a month since I last hauled. I'll put a link to that book haul up in the corner. But I got that Belba Family, The Wow Animals, which is basically a colour by number book that you colour in the squares. So this is the same style, except obviously it is Disney. So this is a Hachette book. There's not actually much to show you on the actual images because they're all boxes. It gives you a little colour chart down the side, and then you get a little menu at the back of what the images are. Again, I'll do a flip through of this for what it's worth, but when I do the flip through of this, I'll make sure I colour in a picture so that you can at least see what they are like coloured in as well. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying that because the pixel ones, they're not hard, they're quite relaxing and they give you a nice little quirky result. So yeah, looking forward to that. So last but not least, we have our Disney Art Deco. So this is another one of the Hachette Heroes Art Therapy books. Again, it's one of those little hand size ones that I'm coming to love. So these have lots of really nice images in them. We've got the heroes, so we've got the ones from the classic movies, and it was pointed out to me the other day, well, not to me specifically, I was watching Jen from Reading with Pugs. I will link her channel below, but I think she had this on the haul. This has been sitting on my wish list for like forever, and then but she hauled it and she pointed out, and I hadn't really thought about it, but this is the only Disney colouring book that's got any element of grayscale in it, and it's only sort of like pointillism style. If you look really close, you'll see that these are just dots, but yeah, this is like a grayscale, I like that picture, a grayscale Disney book. I was like, oh yeah, so it is. So it made it to the top of my wish list as opposed to just sitting there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying some of these images. Again, the only problem with it is they are double-sided, but there are 100 illustrations in this book, so it will keep me quiet for quite some time. But yeah, looking forward to that. And again, I will do a flip of it, so watch out on my channel if you are going to be interested in getting this book. So that's the end of my haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up because that really helps the channel. Obviously, I'm quite a new channel, so I need all the help I can get at the moment. If you've not subscribed, then obviously click the little subscribe button and you will get notifications of whenever I upload a new video if you hit that bell, which will include the flip throughs if you're interested in seeing those. So yes, like, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care and see you again soon. Bye for now.